All right.
And
Okay.
here we are again, everybody. And I got
All
the
right.
camera turned the wrong way,
Right.
but now I
Right.
have it right. Welcome to Common Sense News Entertainment, here along with Yankee T News and Koronowski for yet another edition of Intel Talk and great content. Once again, on Common Sense News Entertainment, it is Thursday, the 14th of May.
And to my audience in Yankee T News, here I am with Common Sense News and Entertainment. Who knew?
All right. Oh, my keyboard's in the way. Oh, I'll just come out
It's called
here.
We're Stronger Together. There
Stronger
you go.
together. And that really is kind of a theme, actually, how we need to get stronger together. We need to unite.
Yeah.
And you know what? I recorded for our other podcast with Selena Rifkin and Jay Anderson. Of course, it's called CT Common Sense on our YouTube channel, Common Sense News Entertainment YouTube channel.
Okay, great.
And we talked about what's happening on the college campuses, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe I should relay this a little bit here. We had a contact. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but I met him in February at the CTRA annual. I also met him at the debate last Friday. He's a member of TPUSA.
Right.
From UConn.
Okay.
And I was told many times he's a great person to connect with and talk to. And I did finally connect and talk with him recently and tell him about what I want to do at Eastern. I want to have a TPUSA chapter at Eastern, which is where I went to school, which is just not even 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. Actually, it was only 1 year ago. They were shot up. An attempt was made, apparently, to start a chapter there that was shot down by the student council president or the student center president, whatever, student governing body of the school.
Okay. So
under the advice of apparently now the student president went to the president of the university and asked about it, and the president said, "You do whatever you want to do," and that was it. Now, here's the thing: this guy from TPC UConn, we had a nice conversation, just like Trump would say, "Great conversation." But he just I was telling him what the problem is. We want to get things kind of kickstarted. We need some people to come aboard and. Let's start another thing and let's go back. And, he basically wouldn't help. He basically said, it's up to me, just a regular alum from the school with a full-time job, to get together enough people that want to do it. He's basically saying that people that want to get involved, then we're not going to bother, is what his position was. I said, well, look, there's 35. I kind of argued with him. I said, there's 3,500 people at the school. I know there's got to be a handful of them that want to get involved. Let's bring them out. He basically said that's not his thing. Come to me with a bunch of people, and then we can help you.
He may be a great person, but he's the wrong person.
Right. So, but guess what? I said, okay, great. So he agreed to be a guest on our podcast. Great. That was going to be today. He texts me this morning and says, I can't be on your podcast. The president of our chapter, I have to get written permission from the president of our chapter for me to be on your podcast.
This is crazy.
And he said, that's going to put a cog in the wheel, is what he said. Meaning not just a formality. Oh, I just got to get the president to sign. I'll be on the show next week.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that wheels are made of cogs. Each gear.
But when they say a cog in the wheel, that doesn't sound like a rubber stamp. That sounds like a cog in the wheel. So, yeah, you're right. He's the wrong person. And it gets me to thinking what Todd Heck told us about how the TPUSA has been compromised now as well, ever since the killing of Charlie Kirk. And then he apparently, from what I understand, inside information, Charlie Kirk, people who knew Charlie Kirk personally, and Todd Heck didn't know Charlie Kirk personally. The last person, Charlie loved his wife to death, but the last person in the world he would have wanted to take over the company if something happened would have been his wife.
Right. Okay. Yes. So, and the point you're making by that is?
TPCSA is being compromised.
Okay. All right. Well, then, all right.
Which is a despairing thought, because I always thought of them as one of the rays of hope.
A Connecticut college chapter, not of TPUSA, but of the Sons of Liberty. Okay.
Got to make our own thing. That's right. And, on a good note, the sentiment is that I think it's safe to say the Connecticut MAGA Republicans movement that we started on X last year that has merged into what you guys are doing and has become over 400 strong. And we haven't united with the other movements around Connecticut like I envisioned, but we're all aware of each other and we're all working together. A lot of us are working together.
Yeah.
And we help bring that together. And now I think it's safe to say that we have succeeded. And if we keep the momentum going, we can go further. But I think we've already succeeded in kind of taking control of the mantra of the Republican Party in Connecticut right now.
I wouldn't say that. No.
Well, we're getting there.
No.
Well, look, Ben Proto didn't want. I ran against Ben last year. It rattled his cage a little bit. It didn't dent him too bad, but he didn't want to debate before. He didn't want any of this. This is all gone against his will.
Yep.
Both debates, the one we did and the one on TIC. We've
Okay.
now eliminated his best candidate. Not we particularly, but the movement, the removal of Aaron from the race is a grassroots based thing that happened.
Well, it's a
based
state
on what we're
thing
doing.
that happened.
Yeah, and so I mean, look, Aaron's not going to jail.
Well, stay tuned.
She's not going to jail.
Okay, but at the very least, there'll probably be some fines.
So, but however, I feel like that we have an opportunity now to. I think we have succeeded in creating at least the basis of an alternative wing of the Republican Party that is going to rival the actual committee. And then now's the time to ride the momentum and get people like Gino involved and other committee members to take Ben out, get him out of there. He's got to go, and then start to unite these two things together. Because basically, what you said, and it's the truth, we just got to make a better version of what they're doing.
Yeah,
and attract people.
Easier said than done. So
we've made a couple of big steps in the right direction.
I'm not sure that big,
going.
Yeah,
and we got to do it with party too, with music, events.
All right. Well, we can focus on that for a minute. The thought I was having was, I'm wondering if there's we have to cost out this whole thing, but if we're going to draw a crowd, we need to come up with something like a tribute band that would be, fairly popular.
Well, we can either find one, or we can find one, which would be quicker, or we can make one, which would take a little longer, but we could do.
Oh, you think that we could sing like the Beatles, huh? Yeah, I don't think so.
I can play that ukulele like a riot, though.
Yeah. Okay, but no.
No, I'm not the lead singer. I could do background vocals, maybe. I'm not really the lead singer guy, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe people on my YouTube channel can tell me, because I sing there sometimes.
Yeah. I think it makes much more sense to find a group that is dedicated.
Already doing it. I know.
They're skilled as musicians. They know how to.
I agree. We could be the opening act. How about the opening act?
Well,
I'm having fun with it. Well, I'm serious when I say that music is an underestimated tool in politics.
Oh yeah.
That we don't use. They do. They run their robotic celebrities out there. Their Beyoncés and their Oprahs and their morons.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do a lot of that, and we should.
Okay, well, the research has to be done to identify the tribute bands in the state.
Let me just say that even though Paul McCartney if I were to meet Donald Trump in person, I would be thrilled to meet him. But of course, I would maintain my personal decor. They think it's nice to meet you, Mr. President, blah blah blah. But if I met Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr, even though I know they're left wingers, I don't care. I'd fall to my knees.
You'd fall.
Oh my God, it's a living Beatle. Oh my God, please come have your. Oh my God. I would act like a moron. I would lose my personal decor and just be like, oh my God, it's Paul McCartney. I'd start drooling.
Sounds to me like you're susceptible to celebrity-itis.
Only for Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. That's it.
Really?
No other living celebrity could do it.
Mick Jagger?
Nope.
Sting?
Nope.
Let's see. Gotta think of another one.
Bruce Springsteen, he was one of my favorites growing up.
Please. Give me
I would have added him to the list, but not anymore. Not after what he's pulled now. No.
Yeah.
I know McCartney is not a vocal guy, but he's not he would have voted he's a left wing guy. Yeah. But I'm still trying to separate the politics from the art a little bit here.
If
I can. But yeah, those two would have me like Ringo Starr. I'd be googly eyed. I worship the Beatles. I love those guys, man. I'm a big fan.
Right.
They inspired me to learn how to play music. I didn't start playing stuff till I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And I was inspired by the Beatles to do that, to play my ukulele. I started with a guitar, but at any rate, I digress.
Yeah.
I got more important things to talk about than my stupid musical development.
Well, what we're trying to work up to. It's called Note to Self. Start researching tribute bands.
Yes, that part. I mean, like we should start doing that, and we should
Yeah.
start making events happen. Because we do. This is the time of the year. If we want to plan a nice summer event, well, guess what? It's May.
Yeah. All right.
Not much time. Plan something for
Right.
a nice late August, hot, crispy day with lots of cool drinks.
Yeah. Sure. All that good stuff.
Party
Anyway, all
somewhere.
right. So let's hop on to the other groovy
What's
things
the
here.
what's the before we go? What's the Killingworth Town Green like? Is there a Killingworth Town Green?
Not really.
Oh
No.
well.
The
Okay.
closest thing to that, there's an athletic field on Route 80, not far from where I live.
What about the Lebanon Town Green? That thing's huge.
Okay. No, this isn't that huge, but okay. But yeah, there are places to go if you want to do that. Yeah, no. I mean, to me, a lot of things about Killingworth are, shall we say, rather unusual.
Hmm.
But right
Like the
now,
Monroe of the East.
let's start dealing with the events of the day here.
Let's do that. I'm ready.
I would like to focus first on Iran any day now, which is my theme. So the first thought that occurred to me is that, again, it seems like we're in some kind of weird holding pattern in dealing with Iran. So yes, we're still blockading the Strait of Hormuz. We've turned back over 70 ships. Okay, and what the Iranians bombed a Chinese tanker. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I hear that, and I'm starting to wonder if I can believe anything that kind of comes out of President Trump's mouth anymore. Quite frankly,
Well, it's not just them. It's
maybe he's doing it on purpose, and that's cool.
you know
We have a life support system that's on life support. I mean, we have a ceasefire that's on life support, which meaning one more thing,
yeah.
and now they've done something more
Well, I have a slightly
aggressive than
again.
ever, but the ceasefire
Yeah.
continues.
So
And it's
my
just, why don't we polish these people off?
okay, my slightly different take. We're waiting until the China summit is over.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, all eyes are on that, and yes, the time is still needed. We got to make we're still preparing, we're still planning, we're still surveilling, gathering
And
intelligence.
making more ammunition, apparently.
Oh yeah, all of the above.
Okay.
So,
Rosie Riveter, get busy, honey.
yeah, that's right. So I don't have a sense of imminent attack yet. Okay, but we do have this case now that's kind of annoying, where the Iranian commandos seized another ship.
A Chinese ship, you said?
Another ship.
Another ship.
They didn't identify from which country. So what I'm waiting for is like what happened the first time, and that is that the ship they seized the first time was actually an Iranian ship. Okay, that's pretty goofy.
They seized their own ship back.
And yeah, and it may have done
Back, or that they already had.
they may have done the same thing again. So nonetheless, we don't know. They haven't told us, but I'm sure the Navy knows. We have other reports of U.S. Air Force jets surveilling, flying around, and watching this ship as they're towing it back to port, and or driving it back to port, and we don't know what's going on. Okay, and like you, I would look at this and say, "What is going on with you guys? Why don't you put another crew on here? Go after these bastards. Don't let them get away with this." It's out in the frigging middle of the Gulf. Okay, it's not like it happened close to some shore. You know, it's a couple hundred miles away from the shoreline with Iran.
Right, this place is not that huge. It's not that huge.
What's
Gulf
not
of Hormuz area is not that. We discussed this. It's like the size of Connecticut. The whole
okay?
the general
You're
area.
limiting. No, you got to go out from the Gulf of Hormuz. There's more. Okay, it's not just the Gulf of Hormuz.
I get that, but that's the strategic area, obviously, that we should be able to control.
Okay, but no, if the commandos decide to go out 200 miles into the water to go out a ship that's in the Gulf of Oman, that's a different situation. Anyway, all right, so we got that little bit of apcray going on. We haven't heard much else. I have a sneaky suspicion, just conjecture, that the Israelis are working more closely with the Iraqi Kurds in an effort to start getting their act together. That's just
Start using those arms for good that we gave them, you mean?
yeah, and other things. Yeah, that's just a wild guess on my part. I'm just trying to think what else there would have been here. Again, it just feels like the stage is still being set. All right. Have you ever watched these plays where the acting troupe actually does the scenery as well? And what happens is at the end of a scene, all the lights go down, but you can see everybody moving all this stuff around,
All
getting
the
ready
props behind the scenes.
for
Yeah,
the
I just went
next
to a
scene.
play last couple weekends ago with my daughter. We saw that. Exactly that.
Okay. So it feels kind of like that. Okay. They're moving stuff around and the lights are about to come up. And then we're going to
Well,
see what happens.
have to be patient. I
Okay.
know. I just want to see the, you know what? I just want to see the end of the mullah. I just want to see the end of the Iraqi regime. That's what I want to see.
I understand.
Because
That's
we
what
need
I
it.
want
I
to
was
see.
9 years old when they started this business.
Okay. Well, all of this said, again, we've here. I wonder if there's something here that can give me a clue. There was yet some other item that basically said the mullahs ain't giving up. Okay. They
Well, no,
ain't
I don't expect
giving
them
up.
to give up. That's why they got to be eliminated.
Yeah.
Eliminated. They're not going to
Okay.
give up. They're not going to make a deal. I think
Mhm.
Trump knows that. I hope Trump knows that. I hope the art of the deal, the man of the deal, understands there's no deal. Does the man of here's the question of the night, people.
Yeah.
Does the art of the man of the art of the deal understand there's no deal?
Yes. This is just we've talked about this before. It is just
A
gameplay.
ruse.
It's kabuki theater. It's performative art.
Yes.
Okay.
Get that. We're seeing it with the
Okay.
Beijing today, like up nauseum.
Yeah. So I just know. Events.
I think it's safe to say that China, just to reel in this China summit in a little bit with it, isn't it safe to say that the Chinese have an interest equal to ours in making sure Iran does not end up with nuclear weapons?
No.
No, I don't see
They're
why.
not worried.
Why?
No.
Because don't the Chinese know that the mullahs of Iran want them? They'll turn on them eventually too. They just want to
Doesn't.
see the whole world Muslim. I mean, don't they know this?
Yeah, I don't think that they're particularly concerned, quite frankly.
Everyone
You
should be
know.
concerned about someone using a nuclear weapon on their country, even if it's a small regime.
Oh, maybe they're operating under the impression that they can exert enough control over the mullahs they don't have to worry.
Well, they're not. That's probably true, and if you're thinking in terms of a 20 or 30-year period, you're
Yes.
not thinking about 100 years from now, which people don't. I'm one of the few that thinks about that part of
Well,
the future. I guess.
you know what? I'm going to give you one. 100 years from now, there's a
All
good
new
chance.
people.
No, there's a good chance 100 years from now that nuclear weapons will be obsolete.
Yeah, because AI will have taken over by then.
Well, you could pick on AI, but the point is,
How would they be obsolete without AI, minus AI?
okay, you have to understand. I mean, maybe your AI quip has some basis to it. You have to understand that you got two possibilities, let's say. All right. Case one, destroy the enemy, rebuild, and reshape the government. Case two is get them to give up without firing a shot, and you don't have to rebuild anything. And
Not an option.
What?
Not an option.
Option two is not an option.
Not an option. Not when you're dealing with Iran. Not when you're dealing with a religious, zealotous. They're ready to die for their religion. They're not going to give up because they don't want to get hurt any further. That's not how it works.
I'm speaking in more general principles.
Okay, more
yes,
general
I think
principles.
these things
Okay. Yeah, general principles. Yes.
All right. And could they? All right. So all of that said, so 80% of the people of Iran can't stand the Ayatollahs. Okay. But that has not been able to translate into getting rid of them.
Which I still don't understand. I still don't understand that.
Yeah.
Still don't get it. I don't understand how before we started this war they were so ready to get rid of them, and now that we're helping, they're hiding.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, frankly, the way. All right, if I was going to get in the weeds on this, it's going to be about doing everything you can to reduce their numbers. So that means guerrilla forces picking them off one by one.
Yeah, we have air superiority, clearly, right?
That
How about this for a
too.
strategy?
Yeah.
We load up with as many machine guns and low-level weapons as we can find. We fly with helicopters over and we start dropping them in the right places where we know these people are and tell them. And then President Trump goes on TV and says, "Remember when I said hide? Now I'm saying come out. Now's the time."
Mm-hmm.
And arm these people and let's just do it. And then we bring in some
Well,
special forces
I
to help
think
out.
he thought he was going to do that back in January when
I
they were
know.
sending weapons to the Kurds.
But are they weakened enough where we can do that now?
No. I think it's self-evident that they're not weak enough. Okay, so
Well, then let's go in
there
there
has
and
to be
weaken them some more.
to have any kind of possibility. They, besides, you got to understand the military. If you're in the military, you're trained to a certain level of toughness and discipline, where you're supposed to be able to stand your ground, even in the face of a superior
I
enemy.
get it.
Okay. And I would say so far, believe it or not, I think the Iranians have acquitted themselves pretty good, but we haven't had a real fight yet.
But
Okay,
if 80% of the people
take on a real battle.
If 80% of the people hate them, then but look, we have the same problem here. We have 80% of the people in the United States that believe in common sense policies, and yet here we have men and women's locker rooms still.
Oh wait, I thought you said that 80% of Americans believe in common sense news, media, and news and entertainment.
That's
right.
correct.
Right.
80% of us are common sense news and entertainment people. They just don't know it yet.
Okay.
They'll figure it out over the next year or two. But let me tell you right now, my point is valid. We have 80% of many of our cultural issues and some of our economic issues also, 80-20 issues, yet the policies are going against what 80% of the people of the United States want. So if we have do we not have the same problem here as we maybe have in Iran? And you know what? I don't want to tell people this, and people don't want to hear this, but this war is not just in Iran. It's happening here too.
Okay, just under different guise.
Under different guise. It's not happening in a military sense. It's happening in a velvet war sense.
Okay,
that's
well, say velvet war.
Velvet war. What is the velvet war? Well, that's what we have here.
I don't know. You say velvet war. I'm thinking that the legislation that Lamont has signed and will sign is establishing Connecticut as a more tyrannical state, a state that could more easily be equated with communism.
Right, which is an act of, when you implement communism on people without a free country, without their knowledge, that's an act of war.
It's people's fault.
Political war. I mean, political war. Velvet war. But like I said on the re-show, and I'll say again, are we going to sit back and let these people just take our rights away without a fight, without a real fight?
Well,
we cannot.
No, we cannot. And let's see here. What does this look like? I look across the landscape here. We've got CT DOGE, right? Have you seen that Facebook page? Right. Connecticut Doge.
That'd be nice.
Okay, we've got Take Connecticut Back. We've got, I think there are a couple of MAGA groups.
Oh, you're talking about all the various groups that are forming here in Connecticut that we're trying to bring together.
Correct.
That's correct.
All right.
So that's why the big outdoor event is going to help do that.
Yeah. Well, the tricky part in my mind is if we're going to make this event work, we want some group to have like a table there. Okay. Be able to have face-to-face contact with people. I think at
that table would be the paperwork and the mechanism to direct people to our profiles, which we created last year, that would now at this point need to be updated, but they're out there already on the Google network that certain people that leading these groups can log on to and communicate with one another. Right now, we see each other at gatherings and we talk a little bit on social media, but we don't have a working place to work together.
Correct.
And I also got to talk to you about people are starting to take interest in us from other states that want to help us roll us into the national, give us assistance nationwide. So we need to talk about that later.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Got any names?
Yeah. John Carroll, Brian Blade. Both. Brian Blade's a Connecticut native, lives in Florida now. Pretty touch guy.
Okay. Well.
And wants to come up here actually and do a some sort of a retreat with the right people in mind, like in late June, we're thinking.
Okay. Well,
Something kind of like what we're going to do tomorrow, only even bigger, actually.
you made it, DJ. Oh, wait, DJ, sorry, my being late was on the phone. That's okay, DJ.
That's all right. We're not paying you, my friend.
That's right. It's okay. All right. Nonetheless, so you'll get to listen to the other stuff. We've been at this for over 20 minutes already, but we're just kind of meandering over different
It's
subjects.
the committees of correspondence. The
All right,
committees
so-
of correspondence.
All right.
That's
So
the
here's
answer.
one of the things to consider. I was thinking of another title that puts Iran and China together because I don't know if this is true, but if you take all the oil suppliers in the Persian Gulf, so that's United Arab Emirates, whatever Saudis pump out, then there's Qatar, right? Kuwait, as well as Iran. I am told, and I need to confirm this because this is big, that 90% of the oil that China uses comes from there. So Iran alone.
My understanding is that President Trump spoke directly with President Xi or whatever today.
Yeah.
And China has agreed to buy more oil from the United States going forward. I don't know how much more, but more. In other words, Trump is saying, look, we're strangleholding Iran. Neither one of us want Iran to have a nuke. I know this presents a problem for you economically. Yeah. We'll sell you oil. We're going to sell you oil too. And Japan is apparently agreeing to that. Now, if that's true, that's a good thing.
All right. Well, they're going to have to decide quickly because you still have Chinese flag tankers drifting around the Persian Gulf. They can't get out. As far as I know, we've been blockading them or some of them.
Well, that's the whole idea. We come to the Gulf of America and buy oil.
Okay, well,
that's soon enough.
I don't know.
We're going to become the world's biggest oil producers if Trump's economy continues to flow. If they don't come up with a fake pandemic again or something and try to ruin it.
Well, this is the part now where all of a sudden Trump saying, "Hey, Venezuela should be the 51st state," becomes practical. Is that the right word? The right idea? Is that what I'm trying to think of?
Geographically,
at least from an oil point of view.
Let's kick Hawaii out and just make Venezuela the 50th state because Hawaii is committing such fraud down there with our Medicare.
There are some states that do not deserve to be a part of the United States.
I would agree. There's 5 right now. Right. Connecticut's one of them, unfortunately.
Let's see. Cuba is out of oil.
What's wrong with that? Listen, isn't there? You and I are both history buffs. Isn't there a pact when we admit a state to the Union? There's a pact that comes with that.
A pact. Yeah. You
pact,
become part of the.
It's they're made a state under the notion that they're going to honor the federal Constitution, and they're going to create a Constitution that does not violate that.
Sure.
Right.
Yes.
Well, Connecticut has long since violated that when they redid their state constitution in the 1960s, by the way. People don't know that, but we have a whole new state constitution that was developed in the 1960s.
Yes.
Not the 1760s, the 1960s.
Well, you're going to have to identify for me those passages in the Connecticut Constitution that violate the U.S. Constitution. All right. And the issue is not so much what's in the Constitution, it's been the laws that have been passed afterwards.
Correct. And the false interpretation of that Constitution to the detriment of people's rights.
Well, interpretation. Yeah.
So, isn't it fair to say, couldn't we fairly say to California, look, you're out. We're going to come in and rebuild you, just like we did after the Civil War, the Reconstruction. We got to come in and reconstruct you. Your state government is now fraudulent, criminal, which they are. And we're shutting you down, and California is temporarily losing its statehood. Well, we're going to come in and we're going to rebuild it and reconstruct it over the next 4 or 5 years.
I have not heard that discussion.
And then readmit you to the
Union. Sounds a little harsh, but when you say Connecticut, I think some people say, "Oh, you mean the sanctuary state?" So you got to understand that when Connecticut declares itself a sanctuary state, that's the same thing as declaring yourself a Confederate state. All right.
It's almost the same as seceding from the Union without seceding from the Union.
Right. And that may be grounds enough for what you're proposing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to come in and clean you up.
Yeah. It kind of has to happen ultimately.
Well, I have to say
Illinois would be another one. I would put Illinois, Connecticut, maybe Maine, arguably.
Yeah.
California, Minnesota.
boy, there's a lot of cleaning up to do.
There's a few. My understanding, there are some blue states that are cooperating with the fraud investigations, though, and things like that.
Which
I
one?
named 5 states. There's other blue states, like New York.
That's not what I've heard. I've heard that the Hochul is passing much more stringent, calling for much more stringent legislation.
What if we just do California?
We're heading for
California, make an example of them. California. Do you know that California is the 2nd largest economy in the world?
I would. You sure about that?
Yeah.
So their economy is bigger than China's economy.
Yeah.
I would have to take a closer look at that. I'm a little skeptical, but anyway. So
if we can do that, if we can make an example out of California, shut it down, take away statehood, go in there, take it 2 or 3 years, figure it out. Maybe that might get other states to fall in line.
I like it. Let's see.
Something has
we would have to explore this. All right. I mean, we're not constitutional scholars.
I'd like to know what the pact is. You know who is a constitutional scholar? Betsy.
Okay.
I wonder if we could get her to come on our show here one night. Talk about the Constitution. Just about the Constitution.
Not soon. Okay.
No,
she's pretty damn busy, boy.
Hey, listen, we've had her on our show twice.
Okay.
So why not?
All right.
Especially at 9 o'clock at night when she's probably not as busy.
Mm.
You want me to work on it? I can.
All right. Give it a try. Sure.
Okay.
So I mean,
I could tell her. You know what? It could just be about. We can have her on for half the show, half an hour, and we could talk just about the Constitution, just that. We're not going to talk about the campaign. You've done plenty of that. This is your night off. Let's talk about your. I know she is a constitutional scholar. I'm pretty sure she is.
Okay. No, I mean,
she's talking about what her feelings on these things.
A lot of work. But anyway, so DJ Ricky said, okay, DJ Ricky says, guys, I think we're heading to the Club of Rome for territory.
Yeah, he's right. We're repeating Roman history, only quicker. You know what? I've just made up my mind. I am going to do everything I can between now and November to help Betsy
the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome. The Club of Rome.
The Club of Rome.
That's different.
What's the Club of
Rome? I thought that was an environmental group, the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome was responsible for all the environmental fear-mongering from the 70s over overpopulation and loss of food sources and all that other good crap.
That's not us.
Yeah, no, that's the club. I think that's the Club of Rome I remember. So I got to double check this here.
Listen, I can tell you right now, anybody who thinks the world is overpopulated has never been on an airplane on a sunny day, okay?
Okay.
There's plenty of room. We have 8 billion people on this earth. We could have 80.
Okay.
There's plenty of room. Plenty of room for good people.
Yeah.
No room for dictators, by the way, anymore. Plenty of room for good people, though. We have zero overpopulation problem. 90% of our population is concentrated at about probably 5% of our land. Look at Australia as an example. Everybody in Australia lives in the southeast corner of Australia. That place isn't even settled.
Yeah, I'm going to say
the whole continent is
Club of Rome's 10 kingdoms, a new world order. What? Now wait a second.
No, now we're getting medieval.
Huh? 10 kingdoms. No, there is a club of. I just looked it up. You can find it on Wikipedia. There is a Club of Rome, which is like a international think tank. Okay. I think DJ Ricky means something different. So the 10 kingdoms, a new world order. Yeah, I'll have to. Let's see here. All right.
I'll tell you what. I am in favor. This is going to come as a shock to people, but I am in favor of a new world order. A new world order of democracy and fairness and constitutional rights. That's the new world order I'm in favor of.
All right.
Not the one they have in mind. Not the one Barack Obama and those scumbags have in mind. A completely different new world order.
So it's referred. It has biblical roots.
Based on.
This is. It's various conspiracy theories about global elites. Yeah. Okay. I just people say these things, but how do you? I mean, there's got to be a way to check.
We have to concern ourselves with our country.
What you think it is.
We have to concern ourselves with our country first and maintaining our country as a force of freedom and individual rights in the world in order to stop this, whatever conspiracies that the DJ has and everybody else has about New World Order, evil and whatnot. That's what we got to do to kind of forget about. In order to stop that, we got to make sure that our country remains a beacon of freedom, a MAGA republic, which is being threatened. So we have to concentrate on our own country. MAGA, make America great again, so we can stave off these New World Order things that everybody keeps talking about. And everybody has different conspiracy theories about it, and none of them are probably completely correct. But the bottom line is the overall premise is there. The elites, the elites have had control over this world since the Middle Ages, quite frankly. It started with the Spanish Inquisition and whatnot, where they got control over the populace with religious fear.
There's a natural tendency. There's a natural tendency in social orders to gravitate to one strong leader. It's old as time.
What people don't know is the people that, like the Bush family, these elite families that are here today. If you were to go back and do ID Me 23 or whatever it is, they're the same darn people that were running Europe back in the Middle Ages. The same families.
Yeah, so DJ Ricky, it's not that I'm doubting you. It's I've never heard of this before. And I had a certain understanding of the Club of Rome, and I can see there's more to it than I thought. And so since you've done the research, I thank you. So I have to, but later on, yeah, I'll be digging in on this. 10 kingdoms. This is crazy. Anyway, it's just more craziness. And
so did you know that? Did you know that the people that were ruling over the Middle Ages and creating all the ran in the Dark Ages and whatnot, that their descendants are the same people from the same families that are like the Bush family, the Kennedys, these Rothschild families. They're the same people. They're related. They're traced right through the line.
Well, supposedly King Charles traces his lineage back to King David.
And it goes the other way. It goes down like the Bush family, the Kennedy family, the Rothschild family. These families trace their lineage right back to the same people.
So are you trying to tell me that the Rothschilds and the Bushes are related?
No. What I'm telling you is that you can trace the lineage of the Rothschild family and the Bush family back to the same thugs that ran things back in the Middle Ages. That they're all the same chain. Like the Tudor family has been running things in England for 500 years or whatever it is. It's the same thing here. It didn't go away here. When we broke away in the American Revolution, we did kind of break away. But since then, these Bush family, Kennedy family, these Roosevelts, these people have creeped back into it, and their lineage would trace back, if you do the research, would trace back to the same people that were running the Spanish Inquisition and all this crap, that these thugs that ran things back in the Middle Ages. They're all the same people. Great grandchildren or whatever.
And you expect MAGA to defeat them how?
That's my point. It's an uphill battle. The only thing that defeats them is awareness. Educated, mobilized population, which is the thing they fear the most.
Well, it's not just the population. You have to have what I'll call a professional class that emerges out of the grassroots
to lead the population,
guard our interests.
That's right. Yeah, which is kind of what the MAGA movement is.
It's not. No,
the cabinet kind of is.
No, MAGA is still a blue collar movement.
The Trump has become president under the MAGA hat, and he's built a cabinet of, I think, mostly patriots that want to help the country. So we have some of that with I think with Trump and his cabinet. But the deep state is still a powerful force within the government.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, which is it? Either we found the MAGA, or they're still a powerful force.
That's why the real battle in Connecticut and around the country is for control of the Republican Party, the RNC and the state central committee, to make it into a real opposition party, and we're losing that battle.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
Well, we're trying to make it. We're having a good year this year than we've ever had in a while. So there's still hope.
You have to keep in mind the impact that gerrymandering is going to have. The two other factors that are absolutely critical beyond running an ordinary campaign are going to be getting rid of more illegals. Okay.
Gerrymandering
and cleaning up more voter rolls.
And cleaning up, yes, right. Cleaning up voter fraud. So luckily, there's a growing sentiment to be doing that, and so there's reason to be optimistic. However, unfortunately, a lot of the fight, and this gets down to the argument we've been having in Connecticut about everyone's saying we got to keep the party united, and I'll line up behind Ryan or whatever. Now Aaron's gone, it's Ryan, right? And but we have a problem. We have to have the control over our own party to make our own party a true opposition party, not a uniparty tool.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me just another thing from DJ Ricky. He said, before this ends, I have shows all weekend and won't be able to watch live. Friday, behind Brantford Town Hall, 6 to 8:30, and Sun at Captain's Cove.
Was he got a radio? Was he on a radio show
in Bridgeport? It sounds like, maybe if you could. Are you talking about music, or being a DJ? Or are you talking about, I don't know, public speaking? It's not clear.
It sounds like he's talking about a couple of events.
Well, yes.
Behind the town hall in Brantford. Does he have a local DJ radio spot? Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, he has that.
Radio is a powerful thing. WTIC has 75 and 100,000 viewers.
He says he's going to be working as the sound tech for these events. Okay. Then we really have to get him together with Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him with social media monetization is where we got to go. Fundraising, we got to go there. Yeah. I can't pay for any more debates or events.
Right. Well, that becomes a question for DJ Ricky too. Okay, JKK is reporting in. Good. But anyway,
Mark Badaro. Did you hear what Mark Badaro was? What Badaro was doing today?
Hold on. So DJ Ricky, if you can tell us about any tribute bands that we should contact, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying. Anyway,
that would be great.
Montanaro, did you say Montanaro?
Badaro, yeah, he's the guy that's doing. He's the one that went to the Chris Murphy thing and put the Trump hat in front of Murphy's face.
Right. Yes.
Right. He looks like Lou Ferrigno guy, right? Yeah. So between him as Lou Ferrigno and Brian Fazio as Superman, we can have like a Super Friends skit going with these people. Right. But anyway, Badaro was down at some bar down in Meriden.
Hold on, he gave us the name Rum Runners.
Write it down. Let's do it.
That's a band called Rum Runners.
Okay. Rum Runners.
I'll have to check them out here.
Rum Runners, huh?
Yeah, that's a pretty good name. These guys sound like they might be pretty hardcore.
Bring the keg. But no, Badaro was down at this bar in Meriden today.
Okay. Oh, yeah. These guys, look at this performer, Rick Derringer at the Hard Rock in Vegas. Man, that had to be something. And then they got a YouTube channel. Yeah, we'll check them out for sure.
We're going to need a band that's willing to come and do it for, not a lot. We can't afford to pay some band a lot of money.
Well,
it's got to be about the cause.
It's got to be a case of you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
And we don't have a lot of money. So, yes, we're stuck with cheap.
Cheap doesn't necessarily mean bad. So, anyway,
as a rehearsal.
I think
true story. So let me tell you the true story. When I was going to college at a little place called Nassau College up in Springvale, Maine, the school had a budget to have a name rock and roll venue at the end of the school year. Okay. Well, they were casting about and they're having trouble finding anything they like. But what they did land, if they wanted to do it, was for $10,000, the Rolling Stones would come to our college for a rehearsal, not a performance, a rehearsal.
That's good enough.
Well, a lot of people felt insulted by that.
Oh, no way. I would have been, that's great. That's good enough. They could come in and, oh, man, insulted by that. I would have been like, great, we'll get a crowd for your rehearsal.
Hey, but we did get Little Feat. Okay.
Oh, I love Little Feat.
Okay.
I've seen them live. I saw both those fans live, by the way.
Yeah.
I saw the Stones live at Shea Stadium in 86 or 88. Yeah. I think it was 88. And I saw Little Feat at UConn here. Probably around that same time.
Yeah, no, they were unbelievable. George Brown on the guitar. Oh, yeah.
I love the Fat Man in the Bathtub. And I love Dixie Chicken live. That piano solo was
okay.
It brings me to my
DJ Ricky is our contact for Rum Runners. So we'll get this
work. Get that rolling. Let's talk to the Rum Runners.
All right. Anyway,
I'm thinking August, like an early August, late August event where people are getting home from vacation and hanging out.
I mean, it's the big question in my mind is how much time do you really need to promote an event?
You need a
what are all
while.
the other
If you
pieces
want to
of
get
it?
hundreds of people, you need a while.
You need a while.
Well, it's May
Right.
now. 3 months is cutting it short already, I think.
Okay.
I think we can do it. We could do it in September or August.
Mm-hmm.
If we
Well,
start
so
planning
I
it out.
mean, by what DJ Ricky is saying, Rum Runners has, they've got a following. Okay, so I mean,
kind of
as soon
following,
as
though?
people find out that the Rum Runners are going to be there, they're going to show up. That's right.
That's what we need. A band with somewhat of a following.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be kind of like the Pine Loft, though, where it's like, hey, man, you can make some money off of this, and we'll make
So
our
one,
money.
I mean, I guess this still has to be worked out, at least in my
Yeah.
mind. But hey, if you're going to have a band that can pull a crowd, I think that puts us in an even better position to make the event more, quote, Republican, more
Yep.
right wing, more conservative. Okay.
We
Just a
advertise
thought.
it to our side,
Uh,
and if it's big enough,
if
if it's
you
big
want to
enough,
rub it in,
some moderates
I'm
will.
somewhat following.
The idea behind
following.
the idea behind this is some moderates will show up and be swayed too. That's part of the idea.
Well, then, so DJ Ricky, I mean, or should we be thinking about a venue that can take like 2,000 people?
Lebanon
I don't
Green,
know. Yeah,
Lebanon
well,
Town Green.
maybe what he's talking about.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Or more. Minimum 2,000 people.
Yeah. Anyway, just to mention it, through the Greater Education Council of Connecticut, I've been working on this letter for Betsy about education. When you go to her website, she's got all kinds of position stuff, and it's really built around property and real estate and stuff like that. But she gets on other issues, but education is not one that she's covering. And the thing is that there's a surprising number of people in the state who do care about education. So I put together this letter for her that just gives her like talking points for 5 or 6 things that we think would be important in education.
Good.
So
I can get it in her hands for you. I can get it right directly into her hands for you.
Okay. All right. So, well, we will see. We will see. All right. Anyway, one other thing that I want to make. So all right. So here's where I get confused. On the one hand, we want to choke. We have the opportunity to make life miserable for both Iran and China over oil. All right. But the talk doesn't seem to have to do with any of that. President Trump is trying to make nice.
It's surrounded China agreeing to buy more oil from us.
Okay, yes. And so does that make China more beholden to us? Are they going to behave better if they're buying more oil from America?
I think that even though China is a communist country, and I'm not in favor of China as a communist country, considering the size of the place, it makes sense to try to work with them on some level, especially with AI. Make sure we stand the same. I'm going to say one thing I agree with Bernie Sanders about. I know.
Yeah.
His premise is wrong, okay? But his reasoning is correct. He thinks we should work together with the Chinese to make sure AI doesn't get out of control. And I'm with him on that. I agree with Bernie on that. We should be working with them. I know that they might stab us in the back. I know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff going on.
Yeah,
but we at least have to make the effort to put something together that we can make sure AI does not get out of control.
All right.
I agree with Bernie 100% on that.
Okay. All right. First of all, so DJ Ricky, is your channel DJ Ricky at DJ Ricky Smith? Is that the channel on YouTube, or is it another name? So we'll find out. But what was the thing I was going to say? Yes, there's a need for guardrails. And I'm going to throw one in that's important to consider. Okay, noted. All right, got it. And that is, how do I want to put this? There's a connection. One of the big problems with guardrails for AI is the ability to fix whatever's wrong. And right now, the technology is such that we cannot fix whatever is wrong. I've told you over and over again that you cannot reverse engineer neural networks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. However, okay, because I'll have to eat crow at some point here. However, here comes a research paper out of China where they're explaining methods that they're developing to reverse engineer neural networks in order to fix the problems they have. All right. So does that mean the Chinese are developing software technology for guardrails? Yeah, maybe. I'm just, I don't know as much about the field as I should. But if there is some number of Chinese researchers who are developing guardrails, then yes, maybe it does make sense for us to work together. However, the thing that concerns me is what kind of technology sharing arrangement are we talking about here? How much of our stuff do we have to share with them, and how much of their stuff do they need to share with us in order to develop these guardrails? I don't have an answer.
I don't have an answer for that either, but I would think that the problem is you can't trust people. The trust issue is part of the problem.
Yeah, no, we can't. No, I mean they've already been stealing stuff from us left and right.
Was there another subject there you wanted to get into tonight before we go, or?
Yeah, we're going to have to find those hidden Chinese biolabs in Connecticut.
Yeah,
we
do.
Yeah, we do.
That's part of what CSNE is for.
Let's see. Remember when Canada had the Chinese training up there, training for something? Remember when Canada had the Chinese training for something? Was it military training? No, that can't be right.
Did you hear that they found some kind of a bomb near a dam down in Alabama?
Yep.
Recently too.
Yeah. All right. Well, they're going to have to analyze it. I mean, the thing is, you find that these bombs, they always have a certain hallmarks that can help you identify whether it's sort of Mideastern or Chinese or Russian in composition. And by the way, since you brought it up, I just want to remind folks that during the Cold War, Soviet Union did sneak into our country explosives and other devices that were put in caches that were hid in the ground. Only they knew where they were. And in the event of a conflict with Russia, they were ready to come out and do some damage. So this was not unlike the terror cells that we've heard about so much from Iran.
Like we just talked about what Ukraine's been doing by coming and hiding for months.
So as an example, they would identify areas where you had critical infrastructure, and the point was to damage it in an area where repair would be very difficult. So deep in a valley, in some ravine, far away from anything, there would be high voltage power lines, destroy the towers there, and fixing that would prove to be very difficult. That's an example.
You got a cold over there?
I do have a cold. I do, and I'm hoping it's somewhat better tomorrow because we know tomorrow's going to be a big day. So I've got the sales meeting at the real estate office. I've got tennis, and then I've got the big event of the day.
2:30.
Together with you and Mr. Becker.
That's correct. Attorney Becker.
This Attorney Becker.
Yes. And that's a big thing. And then from there, that's going to paint the roadmap so we can start doing the proper legal fundraising and whatnot, and also monetization. That has to happen.
He has something to say about monetization?
No, I don't know about the monetization, but he will say something about the nonprofit status, I'm sure.
Okay, I mean, for him, it's going to be the mechanics of setting up a nonprofit, all right? We, on the other hand, have to use our inherent genius.
Start fundraising.
Yes, to figure out how to make money.
Right.
Okay, so this said, I don't know. So I'm asking Eric to put together a budget. Okay, so now my request to him for a budget mutates into, tell me what you could do, Eric, for $1,000.
Yeah.
What can you do for $2,500? What can you do for $5,000? Okay,
Yep.
The point being that some venues, we may not be able to raise that much money, but if we're counting on them, or I don't know, DJ Ricky, do you work cheap? I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Well, what we really want is a for the purposes of CSNE at least, is a social media monetization expert. or social media reach / monetization expert.
Well, you kind of have to look around. Okay.
We're looking.
Right.
It's
And I'm not just talking
not a
about
usual
looking for
breed.
people. All right. There are events. How should I do this? One of the most common, obvious events is political fundraisers. And so what do you see? When you have a big name candidate who has big name people at a dinner, so then they're saying the entry fee is like $500 a plate. That's a lot of money. But they do this all the time, right? And this is how they raise money. But
don't even
I
need to
don't
charge
see
that.
us when the
I
new team
call
gets
that.
to do
I mean, I
yourself.
know they're donations, but
Cool. All right.
I don't need $500 a plate. That's crazy.
But that's what they do.
I know, but we don't need to do that. I don't want to take things away from people like that, unless they want. If they want to donate, fine.
Yeah, well,
But I guess I don't know. I think that what we should do is, one thing that we could do is we could rent a hotel space.
Yes.
And run an advertisement and say, social media to monetization experts attend this event for possible opportunity.
All right.
Well, they
draw,
show up at the room, and then we pick the ones, go from there.
Again, the draw is the person who's going to be speaking. No,
I'm talking about like you put it in there as a job opportunity or contractor opportunity.
What? I don't understand.
Business opportunity. You advertise it as a business opportunity seminar at such and such a time at this hotel room space.
Okay.
And then they show up, and you talk about what you're looking for, and then hopefully one person comes out of it. Almost like Indeed.com, but in real life.
Right. I think you're speaking in riddles here. You're talking about
recruitment of a social media monetization reach expert, engineer, someone who knows the technology, does what you're trying to do with StreamYard, that really knows that stuff. It can really make all that work, whether it's with StreamYard or something else.
Okay, but what you're talking about is an event.
An employment recruitment. I'm not talking about an event anymore here. I'm talking about a recruitment for employment.
All right.
If I had a company selling vacuum cleaners and I wanted to recruit a bunch of new vacuum cleaner salesmen, I'd have one of those little vacuum cleaner seminars that people show up at. Kind of like that.
I've never heard of this, but okay.
It's employment recruitment.
I mean, if you want to hire a vacuum cleaner salesman, you put an ad on Indeed.
That's what I'm saying here. We do. That's what we want to do.
This is not the same thing. You just talked about renting a room at a hotel somewhere.
It's like, right, which is like Indeed offline. Like you basically run an ad. You run an ad saying at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, blah blah blah. There's going to be a seminar at the hotel about.
Okay, well, guess what? JK called it out. Bait and switch.
Bait and switch, and then you have somebody who knows. You show up and you talk all about it, and you get all these people that are interested in it, and among those people will be some experts in it, and you get to befriend and you get them involved. That's how you do it. It's kind of like Indeed, but offline.
All right. No, I'm thinking there may be another way to think about this. We're looking for people who are like-minded with certain capabilities, and so what you're trying to focus on are those capabilities.
I know exactly what they are. Well, first of all, journalists with cameras are the secondary thing, but the major thing is a social media engineer, reach monetization, someone who knows how to deal with Facebook and YouTube and can try to put as much of it together as possible. I know they make it difficult to put them all together in a big way, but whatever, as much as we can do. And then, of course, I believe the priorities are being Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, and Truth Social probably. Which I think Truth Social is a huge tool that I occasionally post on, but I should do more. I know that's the Trump channel.
Okay. Well, there's another vehicle, which is to put out an ad on LinkedIn.
That's a good one. And of course, a billboard once we have enough content.
Huh? Billboard?
Yes. Once there's enough content to make it worthwhile, we're going to do a billboard ad on the highways. Tune in to the News Network in Connecticut, Common Sense News Entertainment.
I see.
That's going to open the door to everything. But of course, once I do that, I have to make sure there's enough content. So when somebody's driving around and look at the billboard, let's click that on. They got to see better than what you and us two buddy duddies here talking.
Right. Yeah.
Got to have a much more scripted and professional looking content and more of it too before I get that far. So I'm thinking way ahead here, but that's I know the whole path. I'm trying to navigate it here. And the beginning is one of the early big steps. Finding the attorney that we're meeting tomorrow was a big one, and another one is the social media monetization engineer expert that wants to basically stop everything he or she is doing and join us.
Yeah, well, I would prefer a fundraiser.
That's another. It's both. It's both.
Well, both. So now we're talking about three things at the same time.
That's when you want to build the #1 news organization. You got to talk about several different things at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we are at the 1 hour mark.
We are, and I tell you what, I still have work to do here. You see this? You see these?
Aaron,
these are folders I have to go through tonight before I can go to bed.
Absolutely not, Aaron. What? What's going on here? All right, Eric is suddenly chiming in here with Aaron. No, absolutely not. What are you talking about?
But does he know Aaron dropped out?
Later.
Does he know that Aaron dropped out yet?
Sure.
Okay.
But these cryptic comments, I'm not following them. So, yeah, we know Aaron Stewart. So, Eric, if you could explain a little bit, what are you trying to say?
Doing free advertising for the brother company.
What do you mean by no? What do you mean by absolutely not? I don't get it.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna go.
Okay, and I'll talk to Eric later. All right,
and we will talk later.
We got to find out. We got to find out from him what happened. Yes, this we know. Yes, bad things are coming down the pike for her. Oh yes.
Oh, for Betsy?
Although, yeah, no.
No. I was gonna say no. We got to talk about offline tomorrow. We've got to. I'll see you tomorrow. So
yeah,
we got to talk about Connecticut. I'm starting to attract some help from around the country for Connecticut. So let's talk about that tomorrow.
All right. Sounds like a start. All right.
Good night, everybody. Once again, for Common Sense News Entertainment and Yankee T News.
All right.
Again, the battle is always between the state and the family. God bless Connecticut. God bless America. Good night, everybody.
And I'll be talking to my peeps later. All right.